All of us around the world rejoice with you baptismal candidates. This is a very special occasion for you. Today you will join millions of your brothers and sisters in a very special relationship with Jehovah. I want you to imagine for a moment that you're in a very large stadium, and there's 8.5 million of your brothers and sisters all in this stadium clapping and so happy to see the stand you're taking for Jehovah today. Some of you are young ones that are raised in the truth, and you're sitting with your parents and family. Others of you may have known the truth years ago and have recently returned to Jehovah. Others may have learned the truth recently, and even under these unusual circumstances of a pandemic and Zoom meetings, have come to the point of dedicating your life to Jehovah.
We're watching John Ekrann, who is a helper to the Coordinators Committee. He is giving the talk, Exercising Faith Means Everlasting Life. This is the baptism talk. And for those of you who don't know what a baptism talk is, well, it's a talk for a baptism, obviously. But at each convention or assembly of Jehovah's Witnesses, you would typically have a baptism. Jehovah's Witnesses wait until these events to get baptized. They don't just get baptized at any moment. It's not just a case of concluding your Bible study and straight away you get baptized. There's a process, and effectively you just have to wait until the next assembly or the next convention. These conventions are obviously taking place virtually, so there are special arrangements for elders to baptize people in their congregations. But before they get baptized, they are expected to sit through John Ekrann's baptism talk, which is effectively patting them on the back for the decision they've made to commit their lives to an organization. And I just found it interesting the way John Ekrann quoted that 8.5 million figure. He said,
I want you to imagine for a moment that you're in a very large stadium, and there's 8.5 million of your brothers and sisters all in this stadium clapping and so happy to see the stand you're taking for Jehovah today.
That's apparently what's happening. 8.5 million Jehovah's Witnesses are clapping along to the decision these people have made to pledge their lives to an organization that won't hesitate to hold them to this vow to their dying breath, to the extent of arranging for them to be ostracized by their family if they ever step out of line. These are people who could be being baptized as children because they've been indoctrinated into the organization. I was 11 when I got baptized. Granted, it wasn't at a convention, it was at an assembly. But believe me, when you fully understand what these people are getting themselves into, it's nothing to celebrate. And yet here John Ekrann seems to be thinking that all 8.5 million Jehovah's Witnesses are happy about what's happening here. And I would argue that that is impossible. It's impossible that every Jehovah's Witness will be glad that these individuals are getting baptized, because this is a captive organization where many people feel forced to stay in the organization even though they've stopped believing. They call themselves PIMO, P-I-M-O, physically in, mentally out. They are in a religion they no longer believe in because they feel they have to stay in or there will be consequences. They will be punished. And I know these people exist because I was one once, and myself and the rest of the JW Watch team, we're continually inundated with messages and emails from people who are in this situation, who are having to basically live under a pretense, pretend they are believing witnesses, in some case even elders or ministerial servants, even though they no longer believe. I've even had people call into the channel. If you look in the voicemails, I've had elders, actual elders who are awake, who've been calling in and leaving me voicemails. So how can John Ekrann suggest that every single one of the 8.5 million Jehovah's Witnesses will be happy when a new Jehovah's Witness joins. I would submit that is simply impossible in a captive organization that threatens people and forces people to stay long after they've stopped believing.